What's going on, guys? It's Noah just checking in. Today I would like to talk about the stigma and dealing with the stigma of being depressed and being anxious, or mood disorders in general. Look, when I was really depressed, I didn't have a choice to try to hide it. I was so bad off that it was just written all over me like a scarlet letter, and anyone within 100 feet could just tell something was wrong, especially based on the way I was before. But I imagine at least back then, had I even been remotely functional in the beginning of my breakdown, the beginning of my severe depression, anxiety, and all that, I would have been really afraid to tell people what was actually going on. And it's so sad that it's still something people are afraid to talk about. I think we as people assume that other people are not doing as bad as we are, or that when we experience something that's novel to us, we imagine it's going to be information that'll just scare away everyone else because they're not going to understand because you barely understand what's happening to you. It's not true. You have to believe me when I say now more than ever, there are people that care. There are support systems out there ready to be put into action by you, and that more people are going through bad shit than you probably realize. So I'm really sorry for every single person that feels so afraid. Not like I feel sorry for you, but my heart hurts for you if you're doing so bad and you need help, but you're afraid to say anything because you don't want people to judge you. And I get that. I mean, you just have to believe me when I say that being depressed, having an anxiety disorder, dealing with bipolar, or being schizophrenic, it doesn't make you a lesser person. You know, people don't choose to go down that path. It's not something you planned out for yourself. Just like an alcoholic doesn't plan. You don't grow up saying someday I'm going to be an alcoholic. A diabetic, to go towards something that's more socially acceptable, they don't grow up planning to have an issue with their insulin, right? And to have to require weekly treatments. It's just a condition. It's a thing. It's bigger than you. It's not a choice. And I think when people can separate the fact that it doesn't poorly reflect on you as a person, but rather just identify you more with humanity. Bad things happen. People suffer. I hate it. I hate that I've had to suffer the way I've had to. I've said to myself, this isn't fair, a billion times. And then the longer time passes and thank the Lord, the more stable I get, the more I connect with the great people on here on YouTube, for example, the more I realize there was nothing to hide, there's nothing to be afraid of. And also, the more I can attest to the fact that healing comes from putting your suffering out there and seeing what the universe is going to do with it. Are there going to be dumb fucks who are going to not understand? Yes. You're going to find them. And you cannot let them screw up your recovery, and you cannot let them make you afraid just because they don't understand. See, I was one of those people. That's what's embarrassing and I'm ashamed to say, but it's true. I was one of those people that if you told me you were depressed, I might be like, oh, I'm sorry to hear that, but I wouldn't understand and I would judge you. I would. I was one of those people. I was ignorant. I didn't understand how it worked. I didn't understand the severity of these things, and I did not understand how completely incapacitating, powerful, and just insidious mood disorders can be. So I remember thinking to myself, and I think one of the things people are afraid of is people are going to judge them and be like, oh, they're just being dramatic. Oh, we all have problems. Buck up, pick it up, get over it, move on, let it go. It's not how mood disorders work. So I suppose it was fitting that I had to have such a severe breakdown that led me to being hospitalized, and being unable to work in order to empathize and understand that to be depressed is just to be human. It happens, okay? And the key is to not identify yourself with it. It's not who you are, it's just something that you experience, and you can get better. You can find the proper treatment, the proper course of action to take you out of it, and then you can be a voice of hope and reason for other people. It's a really important part of my life now. It's probably the most important part of my life now, is to break the stigma of being depressed. It's all good. Everybody at some point is depressed about something, whether it's situational, clinical, through some existential factor. The point is, we all suffer. The severity and degree changes, but we all hurt. And we need to talk about it. Because if you don't talk about it, it's going to make it worse. And the goal is to get better. So who gives a shit if someone makes you think, if someone doesn't understand? There's a lot of us that do. I want you to check out healingfromdepression.com for tons of tips, resources, and information. And believe me, we can figure out what to do to help get you to a better place. Whether you are dealing with dysthymia or severe clinical depression, there's hope, and you're not alone. And it's okay to talk about it, and it's okay to be suffering, and just try to remember that while there's going to be a couple people out there that don't understand, there's a fucking million other people that get it, that have never spoken their pain, but they get it. So you put that sort of thing in the universe, it's going to come back for you in a healing way. That's the way this thing works. So I'm a depressed person. My name is Noah, and I am a depressed, anxious, alcoholic person. And I am not ashamed to say that, because if I had cancer, I wouldn't be ashamed to say that. And people that suffer clinical depression are no more to blame than someone who suffers cancer. I mean, you have to forgive that part of how all this works. You have to forgive the masses that don't understand. So I hope that helps. I hope that was of some use to you, and I hope you believe me when I tell you that if you feel all alone in this world, you no longer have the right to, because I'm right here, and I'm not some fake This is just you and me. There's two of us. I doubt you're watching this with someone, okay? I'm a real person. I have suffered real pain. I have almost died many times throughout the suffering of my severe clinical depression. I know dark spaces, and I care, because I can't pretend I haven't been there. So I'm here for you. You can message me, PM me, get in touch with me on here on YouTube, and I will communicate to you. I'll do whatever I can to be a support system for you until we figure out what to do to help you get better. And in the meantime, put yourself out there and don't be afraid to communicate what's going on with you to someone, and trust that more people are going to understand than you realize, and it's going to make a positive difference. It will. Be brave. Take good care, guys. We'll do another video soon.